Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed already. I really couldn't do this without you. Let's push past my suppression because I decided to question the narratives on certain sporting events. That would be a great help. Thank you very much. Now, I do apologize if you can hear a lot of background noise today. My very much noise cancelling Windows got broken. I broke it by mistake. So I do apologize if you can hear that. I'm very self-conscious that I can hear it through my headphones right now. I have a bonus video for you today because there's a statement I need to make, and that is, I hate cancel culture. There you go. I said it. The fallout of the cancellation of The Acolyte is still going on, but this time YouTubers have become the prime target. Oh, yes. And I made a community post about it on here yesterday. Please go and read it if you would like to. You may or may not have seen it, but let's just say I wasn't impressed. Now, there is currently a targeted boycott going on X, and that, in my opinion, is going against the harassment policies on X. The initial post, as far as I can tell, came from this person here, Molly Damon, who is with Star Wars Explained. Let me read this to you here. I've spoken at length about all of this in the past, but the only way things get better is that Team YouTube does something to discourage this kind of content. Until then, it will only get worse. Now, as you can see there appears to be what was attached, a type of letter, and I have it for you here on the screen. Now, the letter is signed on behalf of the Star Wars fan community and therefore anonymous, but I don't think that this letter actually speaks for everyone. I think it actually probably speaks just for a minority. Let's read it. Last week, Amanda Stenberg, they posted candid comments to Instagram about the rampage, bigotry, and vitriol that she had received since leading the cast of The Acolyte, the latest addition to the Star Wars universe. Stenberg's experience is not new. In fact, this known tactic was initially provoked by Breitbart news editor Milo Yiannopoulos, who aggressively targeted Ghostbusters actor Leslie Jones under the guise of the film criticism. Now, I was in Japan when that was happening. I was not doing this kind of content, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what was going on there without doing a very deep dive back to about 8 years ago, which is what it's saying here. Now, this is obviously on my community page, so you can go and read it in full detail. Now, it says here also that Yiannopoulos playbook against marginalized actors has burgeoned into a multi-million-dollar business on YouTube, which has been permitted to develop unchecked with the help of YouTube's partner program. This playbook's biggest target, Star Wars. Interesting, those statements there. Multi-million. That's interesting. Let me just put it like this. On average, from having been a member of the YouTube Partner Program, I can tell you that unless your video is probably in the hundreds of millions of views, I don't know, that's just a random thing I'm going to throw out there, then you are not going to be making a multi-million whatever. And I'm sure it's probably just talking overall, but let me just put it like that. Like, the people that are mentioned here are probably making enough to live comfortably. So they go on to say that they've witnessed a handful of YouTube creators dive in with insults against these marginalized actors who have already worked their way into the industry, and therefore I don't really consider to be marginalized per se. You know, in many respects, they've said enough is enough. The Star Wars fandom demands that you enforce its community guidelines against prolonged insults and incitement of targeted harassment towards women of color by demonetizing YouTube channels, Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Canal, RK Outpost, and Nerdrotic. So then they go to talk about the subscriber count and all things like that, and the fact that they appear on Friday Night Tights, and they list a load of insults here that apparently these YouTubers have said. Now, obviously, I don't want this video to be suppressed, so I recommend that you read the community post to actually go and see the details that they have lined out. The hate campaign against Amandla has been so profitable that other major YouTubers have joined in the attacks on Amandla, including Star Wars Theory. How many more good faith content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions? The Star Wars fandom refuses to watch other marginalized actors or fans being singled out by prolonged racist harassment from a handful of YouTubers as a result of YouTube's inaction, which has transformed hate into a lucrative career path. It is concerning to us that targeting marginalized actors on other social media platforms has historically resulted in platform bans, whereas the same behavior has made its provocators millionaires on YouTube. This should be highly concerning to advertisers as well. We understand that YouTube has an important role to play in promoting freedom of speech. Yeah. However, content uploaded by geeks and gamers, Arcade Outpost, and Nerdrotic is not opinion or criticism. It is prolonged, targeted harassment against women of color. We urge YouTube to enforce its community guidelines and demonetize these channels immediately and permanently. Wow, that is some very strong demands right there. So, according to those on X, this is all the fault of Nerdrotic geeks and gamers. Ryan Canal, Arcade Outpost, Star Wars Theory are included in this, and some other YouTubers. Now, the statements that appear in this post are actually probably most likely taken out of context, and I would say that the context are actually important. And you know what, if this actually continues, I may actually go and watch all the videos that they've got listed here in the resources to see if I agree with these so-called statements made in this post. Now, I have actually over the years dipped in and out of Nerdrotic and Ryan Canal, and in my opinion, I've not seen them be outwardly racist or harassing towards an individual, as that would go against the YouTuber's terms of service, so to speak. Now, I've dipped in and out of Nerdrotic and Ryan Canal over the years, and in my opinion, I've not actually heard anything that's outwardly racist or harassing towards any of the individuals, as that would actually go to, the against the YouTube terms of service. And if you're looking at specifically women of color, well, then you have to also then look at men of color, because they have made videos about Doctor Who and Shooty Gatwa. So you would have to apply the same logic to those videos too. Speaking of the YouTube terms of service, YouTube has been tagged in multiple posts in the last couple of days since this has been going on. Rewriting Ripley pod. Hello at Team YouTube. The Star Wars community would at the very least appreciate a formal response or update in regards to our well-documented and pressing concerns about YouTubers pushing prolonged harassment on your platform. And this is in response to a tweet that Rewriting Ripley had actually made on September 4th. A handful of YouTubers have jeopardized the safety of our community and the creators we love for too long. The Star Wars fandom demands action at Team YouTube. Demonetize Nerdrotic, Ryan Canal, Arcade Outpost, and Geeks and Gamers. Hate should not be a career path. And do you know what? Interestingly, you didn't even have the nerve to tag those YouTubers in that post. And then people, of course, are also retweeting the anonymous letter. If you're angered by the video above, take action. Ask YouTube to demonetize the hate on their platform with this letter from the Star Wars community. It's time for you to be a part of the solution at Team YouTube. While you continue to allow these channels to be monetized, you are incentivizing hatred and racism. Just think how many channels across YouTube cover all sorts of dark material, hatred, all sorts of things, and are not demonetized. We at Star Wars News Net urge at Team YouTube to look at into the allegations brought forth by the members of the Star Wars community as outlined in the letter below. Another person said, if you are personally offended by this, you are either part of the problem and a POS, too stupid to realize that hate speech equals free speech, and the danger that these echo chambers of hate create, aka part of the problem and a POS. At Team YouTube, take this seriously, please. And I'll just show you quickly what YouTube have been saying. So they replied to Molly Damon, which I showed you earlier on, and this is a generic message, and I believe she responded with, will do. And I think this is probably AI automated, the top one. Molly Damon, we really appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Mind reporting channel/video in the official reporting tool. If you haven't yet, this page has more info on how to do that, and then gives a link. And then this one was in response to Rewriting Ripley. Thanks for reaching out. Just heard back and confirmed that this content is not violative and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with this decision, but we reviewed this video very carefully against our policies. And of course, there have been staunch defenders as well. So hopefully the channel being attacked by Star Wars Explained right here put together a lawsuit and sue their pants off, because legally Star Wars Explained just committed a massive legal L by going after people's livelihoods, businesses, and employees. What a coward, cries bigot, takes part in a harassment campaign against more successful content creators and then locks down her comment section. Disney Star Wars fans are sick in the head and have maggots in their souls. Foul people. Girl Who's Mad, other fans had different opinion about the Acolyte. It's racism, wants YouTube to silence them and demonetize their accounts, and cares so much about voices, she turned off the comments so no one has a voice. It's people like her that actually ruin the fandom. This is all Lucasfilm's doing. When George left, all the worst scum and villainy took over the company. They're the ones that hate all the creators mentioned here. Disney did right for once in cancelling The Acolyte, and the ones really crying are leftist weirdos at Lucasfilm. Now, I don't like the fact that people who worked on The Acolyte are now jobless, but that doesn't mean to say that I think the show should actually go for a second series. That really doesn't. These creators will find jobs elsewhere, and I hope they do soon. Everyone has the right to work so long as it is a perfectly legal job. But I don't like cancel culture, and cancel culture needs to stop. What we're seeing here is an attempt at a boycott and a deplatform. This, I believe, will not work. No offense to these YouTubers, but their platforms are not actually big enough to cause a show to get cancelled, to cause hate and harassment and target individuals. Disney Plus has a far greater reach than any of these YouTubers in many respects. Now, when you sign up for the YouTube for a YouTube channel, you agree to the terms of service. You have to abide by those terms of services, and when you get monetized, you get an even stricter conditions to follow laid out by YouTube and by the advertisers. And each video is individually assessed, and the content either gets fully monetized, partially demonetized, copyright demonetized, and fully demonetized. Reporting an individual video does not actually result in full demonetization of a channel to the point that these people on X really actually think that it does. All of these YouTubers, myself included, have to abide by these rules, or we can get demonetized completely or get given a strike. Now, YouTube does review all of the complaints as well. I've had videos reported and nothing has ever come of it because they fall in with the terms of service. I even had someone tell me that they had done so, to which I replied, good for you, because, well, what do you expect me to say? You reported my video. Great. Now, these people who are reporting these videos on YouTube and blaming these people for a poorly written show that didn't get any views are mad about two things. First thing is that Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers ranking out, and even Star Wars Theory did not conform, nod, smile, and say yes to the so-called right way of thinking. And to them, that's a problem because we can only have one view, right? We can't actually all have different opposing opinions and agree to disagree or even debate it out in a nice and fair-based manner. Secondly, they're mad about that show that got cancelled, and really it's all about the hashtag renewing the Acolyte. Remember, it is these types of people who delighted in the cancellation and firing of Gina Carano, and now they want to take down smaller voices who didn't want to see their favorite franchise, Star Wars, get ruined. And I think that's fair. And it's a fair game that these content creators comment on something that they want. You see me talking about Doctor Who all the time. These YouTubers are entertainment and pop culture commentators who made an observation, and now they're having their small businesses targeted. And they all have lives, they all have families that they need to take care of. And how is that fair? Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like and subscribe, and I will see you on Sunday at 4 p.m. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.